Hey everyone, my name is Stacey Benjamin, and this is Voice of the People TV.
I need you to keep it locked to VOP TV. See, are you looking for good entertainment? You want to get good movies, good music, politics, talk shows, sports and entertainment. You really want a channel that gives you everything you need without you having to run around. VOP is where you are. That's Voice of the People.
If you're not listening to this, you're not one of us, and you deserve to be killed. Scrap chat. Don't be killed, but watch it, or I'll find you, and I want you.
And you are locked on VOP TV. Don't go nowhere. This is where the juice is. This is where all you need for entertainment, politics, movies, and whatnot.
And keep watching VOP TV. So keep it locked, because I'm locked already, man, and it's money back guarantee. So you're gonna have a good time, because I do.
And please keep watching VOP TV.
I won't want you actually. I beg you, subscribe, watch it. If not, whatever you see, you see.
You better not touch that die, because VOP is the plot.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Uncertainty, they say, will tarry for the weekend. But of course, joy comes on Monday. This is the statement United left the Molineux with after that amazing 4-1 victory right there in the EPL to conclude the match day 15 of the English Premier League. And of course, on that note, I say, welcome to Locker Room on the Voice of the People TV. I am Ikechukwu Agwago. Today promises to be another very interesting episode as we'll be looking at so many conversations. Liverpool, the turmoil. Is it the end of the road for Mo Salah? And of course, sad news for the Super Eagles of Nigeria as goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali race for fitness to be part of the Afcon. Joining me to dot the I's and of course cross the T's of this conversation is sportscaster extraordinaire Jerry Apelohai. And of course, Maiwa will join us during the course of the show. Jerry, good evening and welcome to Locker Room.
Yeah, good evening, Nikechukwu. Good evening, our viewers. And I just wanted you to finish. I didn't want to be like the first lady who interrupted the governor. So you are the governor. I don't have the temperament of the first lady. So I will wait till when the show starts. Then we'll get down. And of course, Maiwa will be joining us. Of course, we'll get to that segment.
Of course, for the viewers out there, you can be a part of the Locker Room. All you need to do is to drop your comments on our YouTube platform, or you can call the number on your screen to be part of the Locker Room to have your say. Of course, do not also forget to like, share, and of course, hit that notification bell so you don't get to miss another episode of our show. Without further ado, let's get into the thick of the action. Of course, we'll start with what concerns us the most, and it is about the Afcon as we count down 12 days before the biggest football festival in Africa starts. And the camp of the Super Eagles is also swelling as reports from Italy is coming, where pizza manager Alberto Gilardino has announced that Ebenezer Akinsamiro has been included in Nigeria's squad for the upcoming 2025 African Cup of Nations. It's so certain that this young man has made the cut. Jerry, how delighted are you to hear news like this?
Yeah, I think the last time I had joy of a midfielder joining the Super Eagles, well, back in the days of Mikel Obi, the Christian Obodo days, and since then, I think I've not had any joy of the kind of midfielders we've been parading. And maybe it's a bit of early years of Wilfred Ndidi.
Okay.
I can say for that in the Super Eagles. And it will be maybe at the start too. Yeah, maybe some bit of flashes, but not really convincing. He's just been a management situation. And I think with the joy, the fact that the Kazanki Samira is joining the team, and I would have loved him to start with the age grade teams, but time will not permit that because he has already started playing the big leagues, playing in the Italian Serie A, and getting man of the match performances against top club sides is not mean feat because this is now the time where the likes of Lami Yamal at 16 is already making waves at the Euros and the UEFA Champions League. It means that catching them young is no longer news. And the Super Eagles should be able to join the train. And of course, let's not forget Adingra at the last Nations Cup. How old was he? He was already playing the final of the Afcon. So nobody should look at him that he's still pretty young. And Benjamin Frederick at 21,
22.
22.
Samira is 21 as well.
So he's already starting for the Super Eagles. So I don't want him to be looked as a young player who's still learning the ropes. He should be put into the fray to challenge the big boys. And of course, I'm excited about his name since it came up. And I hope that when he comes to Super Eagles, he'll be given a chance just like the other big boys have been given chances, which they failed to deliver in terms of the number 10 role. And of course, I'm looking forward to seeing him playing for the Super Eagles. And first of all, I want to see him in the friendly against Egypt. Then I can now say that maybe Akisamiro is ready to play for the Super Eagles.
Of course, for a player who actually Nigeria was expecting to be part of the playoff, injuries, kept him out of that part, the World Cup playoff. But Jerry, let's talk about this issue of, he's a young player at 21, 22. Back in the days, Messi at 19, 20, nobody looked at him as a small boy. Lampard at that age, Gerrard at that age, these guys were seen as...
Mikel.
Yes, Mikel, like these guys were all seen as grown up. So when did we start looking at players of 21, 22 as a young boy?
But let's not forget, at that time when Messi was coming up, at the age of 16, 18, 19.
18, 16, 19. But at 20, 21, these guys are already Ballon d'Or winners. They're already big men.
The thing is that it's not all players. Let's not forget there were a lot of players within that age category that never stepped to the level at which Messi was already operating at 2021. Even the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, there were a lot of young players who were good. Let's not forget, even at a point in time, Quaresma was in that age grade, but he never made the cut, making it at the big stage. When he got to the big clubs, he was not able to perform. So there are some players who even perform better than players that are far older than them, who have been there for a longer period of time. Take a look at Lami Yamal. Just 3 seasons ago, nobody knew who Lami Yamal was. But now he's now the big boy in the Barcelona side. All the talk 2-3 seasons ago was about Rafinha. But now nobody's talking about Rafinha, everybody's talking about Lami Yamal. That's how it is. If a young player steps up and shows that he can take the mantle, definitely will shove all the other players aside. And that is the reason why Akisamiro is the talk now, because he's playing among the big boys. Let's not forget a lot of 21-year-olds who are still playing in the academy, trying to see if they can even make the 23 or even make the bench of their various football club sides. But when you're a 21-year-old and you are already pulling weight among the big boys, definitely you'll be given a shot. And if you give a shot and you grab it with both hands, definitely you have come to stay.
So let's talk about Akinsamiro. I mean, he's been so impressive. Inter Milan player is on loan to Pisa and he's been doing the job week in, week out. It's more like their biggest player right there in Pisa. Jerry, if he makes it to the Nations Cup squad, right? How do you want to see the Super Eagles set up? Because I wouldn't want to see Akinsamiro come into that particular team and he's sitting on the bench. How do you want to see him, in that particular? How would you, as Eric Chelle, inviting you having Rafael Indika, you've not tested, you've only be giving Wilfred Ndidi and Alex Iwobi the pivots to actually operate in the middle of the park. You've not really given Onyedika as impressive as he's been all through, last season. We saw him in Champions League. We also been seeing him this season. He's been one of Club Brugge's most outstanding player. I mean, how would you want to set up, because this is going to be a selection headache for Eric Chelle. As Eric Chelle, how would you manage, the team, a team mixed with, experience and of course young players that are doing pretty well?
The Super Eagles is an unusual team, and most especially when you have to deal with an NFL run by a lot of mediocres who call themselves administrators, who want to dictate who you select in your team. And I think I still popped up to the news that Ahmed Musa is not fully retired since he has not made an official announcement, just like Afcon did. I will not be surprised tomorrow that I will see that Ahmed Musa is making the cut because they want to give him one final hooray to be a part of the national team. That would deny the chance of any other 21-year-old who's as good as Akin Samiro of making the national team. And of course, that was a cry before the last Afcon. Though a lot of Nigerians are not talking about it today because they went ahead to make it to the final. For Eric Chelle now, he's even in a situation where his job is on the line. His performance at the Afcon will determine how far he will go. And if he's able to scratch the back of the NFF as well, because I already also have on a good authority that is owed 3 months' salary. So imagine going into the Afcon, you didn't qualify for the World Cup, your job is on the line, you are owed salaries. That means he's going to compromise in the selection of players just to satisfy his employers. And we might see a situation where Akin Samiro will bench because Alassane Yusuf is being honored or is being favored by Gosol because he's his kinsman, which would deny a beautiful talent like Akin Samiro an opportunity to show his skills. And let's not forget, Iwobi is also in the bad books of the NFF over that video.
Yes.
And they're already looking forward to pushing him out because after succeeding with Afcon, I think he's the next in line to be pushed out. And that is why I will not be surprised Akin Samiro is the man they are hoping is going to push him out. And if that's the case, that means Akin Samiro may have a shout based on the fact that they are planning to push Iwobi out of the team. And so many other players who were part of that rebellious group, they are also making plans already to shove them out. And Eric Chelle is already playing the devil's advocate in making sure he sees to what the NFF wants. But that's not how the Super Eagles have been able to succeed. The Super Eagles have succeeded in Afcon where the coach is giving the free hand to select his team of players. From the days of Otoglorian to Westerhoff to even Stephen Keshi. Take a look at the times they were always compromise and issues in terms of selection process and the coach not having his free hand. The team always struggle. Somehow they always just find their way. Even with the doggedness of Pesero at the last Afcon, there were still a lot of influences in that team. How will Olai not be playing with an injury in the final? Why didn't he make move to make replacement? Even the selection of Ahmed Musa, there were a lot of calls. Even he didn't want to take Shustekong, let's not forget. Anyway, somehow it paid. So, but now we're having an Eric Chelle. I don't know. I just want to keep my fingers crossed.
But do you trust Eric Chelle? Do you think he's a man who can actually hold his own, by taking decision without, interference? So far, I think, as you've come to know the manager,
so far he has proven that he has his own will to do things the right way. But I've seen him on situations bend over, like Virgil van Dijk, just to make sure that let my people go, let peace reign. But that is not the way to go because he's going to find himself out of job by the time the Afcon finishes if he doesn't win this Afcon. Because
Jerry, I'm saying this because over the years, if you've been following the Super Eagles, new players making waves either in Italy or in another part of the world, their very first championship, if they've not played for the Super Eagles before going into a major championship, or they play few games going to a major championship, naturally they tend to struggle in that particular championship. We saw it with Obafemi Martins. We saw it with a couple of players. When you go into your first tournament, Alassane Yusuf was one of the most talked about players before the last Afcon. We saw him last Afcon, how shambolic he was actually at the end. So it's a thing. Now we're talking about Ebenezer Akin Samiro. I don't know. Is it not going to be better that he just go into that particular Nations Cup, try to understudy or watch few games, maybe the first 2 games, and then get introduced gradually into the teams, not just throw him into the fray, because it's going to be difficult. Because when you go into major championship like this, if you end up not winning your first game, it's going to pull a lot of pressure into the team.
Yeah, I understand that worry. That is why I emphasize that he should play in the Egypt friendly. Yeah, we've already seen Iwobi, we've seen Wilfred Ndidi and Co. We've seen what they can do. And though we want them to gel and get match fitness ahead of their first game against Tanzania, that being said, we give Aki Samiro some minutes, because that will be the best opportunity to see what he can offer if he's going to be a part of the team eventually. Then, talking about giving debut, let's not forget Osaze Dewumge made his big debut at the Afcon. That was in Tunisia, 2004, where he scored 2 goals against South Africa. So, who says Aki Samiro cannot step up and do so?
But Jerry, cannot compare. I mean, Osaze Dewumge, the quality of player he was playing with, the judges of this world, these guys are more like fathers. They understand, they've seen all of the pressure. We don't have those caliber of players, in our ranks today. To be very fair, I'm not trying to demean the boys, but the truth is, the Nwankwo Kanos of this world, they will definitely help you settle in. And not forget, before that particular championship, Osaze Dewumge was already a household name. He once played in the Nigerian league, so he understands the system.
We're in a delicate situation even at the time Osaze Dewumge stepped up. Because 3 players were sent home. Players like Agali, Babayaro, and Ayegbeni. And these were crucial players. Even the attack was depleted. And Osaze Dewumge coincidentally was invited for that Afcon for his debut. And he stepped up from the bench and gave a good account of himself. And the rest, they say, is history. So any player can step up if the right motivation. Yeah, I agree with you. We don't longer have the big names like JJ Okochas, the Kan Nwankwo of this world. But with that being said, definitely the player should know that this is a big opportunity for him, because if he does well at the Afcon, he will be surplus to requirements in January. In the summer, his transfer pay package will increase and his value will increase. So it's left for him to take advantage of the opportunity. If he's even given 2 minutes and he does something really wonderful, the coach will have no option to bench whoever is taking the position and give him more minutes.
All right, so let's move away from the story of Aki Samiro, who is expected to be a gem for the Super Eagles, from few weeks from now. I think the Nations Cup about 12 days from now, starting on the 21. So definitely, we'll be hoping that it's going to turn out to be what we all expect. Let's move on to another Super Eagles player who is now an OG, I must say, in the Super Eagles setup. Talking about the goalkeeper, Nwabali, who actually made a lot of Nigerians smile in the last Afcon. Now there's a very sad news coming from the camp of Chipas United. And the goalkeeper, the Nigerian shot-stopper, Nwabali, is injured and, of course, is battling ankle and hand injury and race to be fit for the Afcon. Jerry, at a time like this, and there are reports also that the goalkeeper, Francis Uzoho, has been invited instead if he's unable to eventually make it to the Afcon. Is this a good news for the Super Eagles?
Yeah, this is bad news. Immediately he started doing well for the Super Eagles, I was worried that he's playing the South African League. Because the South African League, we have scores to settle. There's bad blood between Nigeria and South Africa.
Absolutely.
And the fact that he's the #1 shotstopper for the Super Eagles makes him an endangered species when it comes to playing in the South African League. I will not be surprised if it was all done out of malice to make him injured ahead of the Afcon. Because there's a likelihood that Nigeria and South Africa might meet at any stage of the competition. And if there's any man who's going to stop them from beating the Super Eagles, Nwabali stands a big chance of making that happen. And I think when he started doing well, I think a lot of moves would have been made by the NFL and those who are concerned to make sure that Nwabali leaves the South African League. That is how serious countries take their football. They will do everything possible to make sure that he leaves even whatever they are paying him in the South African League. If it were to be a serious station, okay, come and play for him, but we'll pay you exact amount till you are able to get a club side in Europe or wherever in the world. Just leave the South African League, because prior to competitions, I'll be worried that the South Africans might deliberately put you in harm's way and make you injured ahead of tournaments like the Afcon. And of course, that's the situation we find ourselves. Nwabali, doubtful, though he's been making some few mistakes. That happens to even the best of the best players in the world. So, but first choice goalkeeper in the Super Eagles, anytime, any day, you want to call us Nwabali before any other. That means we have to make do with Maduka Okoye, who has lost a lot of trust, a lot of Nigerians after the 2019
But he's in a very good shape now, Jerry.
He's in good shape, but he has always been in good shape. When it comes to the national team, I don't know, something just flies off his books in terms of he gets so much attention with the fine boy looks and so. I think the girls should leave him alone now because he's going to be the number one
But Jerry,
at the Afcon.
there's a certain Uzoho who, I mean, before the qualifiers against Ghana, he was one goalkeeper that Super Eagles actually also trusted. He's back now. Maybe this is going to be redemption time for him.
Yeah, are you talking about Uzoho?
Uzoho, yes.
For me, Uzoho, that ship has sailed. I don't see him manning that sticks, and I will be confident that we have a number one goalkeeper who can do it for the Super Eagles. What has he been doing for the past 2 seasons? I think he has just been a makeshift goalkeeper. He has not been in the limelight. And that is not the kind of goalkeeper I want to put the trust of the Super Eagles in. If Maduka Okoye gets injured right now, I think the third choice would be my option, or even the second choice. I think he's not even even if he's making the team, he's not going to be the second choice.
So you're saying Maduka Okoye, Amaso Basoje?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then Uzoho the third choice.
That's
yeah.
your
That's my hierarchy. That's where I'm even comfortable with Amas over Uzoho. Definitely.
And it's sad that the coach, Bisumuzi Vilakazi of Chippa United, said the 29-year-old reportedly aggravated the injury during the 2026 FIFA World Cup playoffs in Morocco last month and has not made an appearance for the Chile boys since return from, that particular mini tournament. But Jerry, how come the NFF and everyone in the glass house are unable to spot this particular injury? Now that we are hearing from South Africa, I mean, when did they play this particular mini tournaments that Super Eagles failed to actually qualify for the World Cup? It's done for, I think, about 2 weeks now, right? And then we hear there've been no reports that Nwabali has been injured and he's not been, in goal for the Chile boys. I'm talking about Chippa United since he returned, according to the coach. And now we're just hearing it just over, I think it's over a week to the Nations Cup, and now we're just hearing that our number one goalkeeper, is injured. Come on. Yeah. Why are we having this story? Why are we getting to know this now? I mean, I want to believe that we have physios. I want to believe that we have people who actually, medical team who should check our players after every game to know, if they are injured or if they are good enough to actually be part of. Why? I mean, Jerry, help me make sense out of this.
Yeah. Anyway, they said he picked up an ankle and hand injury.
Yes. In that particular game.
That he will be battling to make it, to be fit for the game.
He was part of the 55-man list.
Yeah.
He was part of the 28-man list. And now the club is releasing an official statement that this guy might not be part of the Nations Cup. Why is the NFF not telling Nigerians now before the club official statement? Because you had the player last. You should know, the well-being of the player. If the player is good to actually play, I want to believe that the coach and everyone concerned should actually be reaching out to the players. The Nations Cup is very, very close. So are we going to be expecting till on the 15th, when players are supposed to arrive camp and they'll start releasing statement that Nwabali is not fit to actually make it? Or is he going to arrive camp injured and then we'll just get to hear the news that, when the Nations Cup is already on, Nwabali is injured, cannot be part of it?
Yeah, in the case of Stanley Nwabali, he has proven to be a dogged player and a player who against all odds want to beat any form of injury because he understands how important it is to play at the Afcon. Mm-hmm. And I was hoping that he was going to take advantage of his popularity and the last Afcon to make him move out of the South African League. But that did not happen. But with that being said, I think the honors bears on Stanley Nwabali to communicate with the national team coach and tell him this is the situation I am in. And don't worry, I will still make the first game against Tanzania. It's just a matter of an issue. But the information we're getting is that Uzoho has been put on the standby list.
Yes.
Meaning that the NFF has been informed. The coach is already aware.
But it was after the South Africans raised an alarm.
Yeah, after the South Africans raised an alarm. Yes. The South Africans will raise an alarm from the club side stating news that one of their key players, who is also their number one choice goalkeeper that is injured, that he will not be available for the next Chippa United game. Definitely it will be obvious. They will surely make such information. And I think that information, since they released it, that was when the NFL picked it up and was injured. Or Stanley Nwabali would have called the coach before then and tell him, oh, coach, this is my situation. I just got injured. And of course, some players...
After the mini tournament, too.
Yes.
He sustained that injury in that particular game.
Some players might even want to cover it and go to the Afcon with that injury.
But how can you even cover it?
Yeah, players do it. Players go to tournaments hiding injuries. If the information doesn't get to the coach or the physiotherapist or the management that if this player is injured, let's not forget
Jerry,
there are some injuries.
You've covered grassroots games a lot.
Yeah.
Jerry, can't you? Is it not possible that when you see a player that is not fit, trying to manage himself because of
you
know
if you are somebody who has good eyes.
Exactly. No, Jerry, if you're a physio that understands your job, it's not possible that a goalkeeper will be having hand injury. That's exactly his strength. And then ankle injury where he uses to kick. No, Jerry, it's not possible that
there are some players who are very smart, very, very smart. And for the fact that he's a goalkeeper, let's not forget there may be some minutes he will not even make any move. But when the minutes comes, they will somehow find a way to cover it. But that's not to say that along the line it's going to show and it's going to endanger the chances of the team, which is really dangerous. But it is good that the information came out in case Nwabali was trying to hide it. And the NFL was not aware, or the Eritrea was not aware. But now they are aware, they would have put a call through to Nwabali and said, what's the situation of your injury situation? Okay, this and this is what is happening. I'm not sure. It's 50-50. Talk to my doctor, the club physiotherapist. Therapist will talk to the doctor of the Super Eagles and say, this is what is really happening. It's 50-50. Put another goalkeeper on standby in case he doesn't make it. But let his name be on the list. If he doesn't play the first game, he'll be available for the second game. If he doesn't play the second game, he'll be available for the third game. That means Maduka Okoye can still start the first game. Nwabali might return for the third game or even the knockout stages. So I think Uzoho's situation is just to make face. I don't see Uzoho eventually making a list. If Stanley Nwabali can still be fit in the knockout stage, I think there's no need to get Uzoho into that list.
All right, so let's still talk about the Super Eagles, and of course, the Afcon is still very much in the center of the focus. And this time around, we'll move straight to the attack of the Super Eagles. And of course, former Nigerian international defender Ife Ambrose has warned that head coach Eric Chelle will likely need to bench either Ademola Lookman or Victor Osimhen for the Super Eagles to succeed at the Afcon. I mean, this comes as a huge surprise to a lot of persons because these guys are the two most potent attackers we've got. But his reasons is very simple. He said that they are both like Vinicius Jr. and Kylian Mbappe. The both of them are not, either of them are not ready, to actually allow the other person to actually lead the attack. And that's actually what is affecting the Super Eagles team at this point. That he gave his evidence. His evidence was hinged on that particular game against Benin Republic where the Super Eagles won 4-0. Ademola Lookman was benched and Victor Osimhen was so comfortable running the show alongside Akko Adams. And he said if the Super Eagles must succeed in this particular championship, either of them will either, play from the bench. And Jerry, I think to an extent, from where I stand, I see reasons with what Ife Ambrose is saying. If you look at the last Afcon, Osimhen really struggled to score goals. Ademola Lookman got 3 goals in that particular championship. Osimhen scored, I think he scored only 1, right, in that particular one. And look at our qualifying series. You notice that every single time Moses Simon comes in for Ademola Lookman, the game looks a little different. Because Moses Simon is that player who will rather drop deep to help, build up play. But Ademola Lookman is more like, the Osimhen kind of person. It's not like they plan it. I don't think they have any sort of beef, but it seems like there is some sort of, star clash between the both of them. African Footballer of the Year, both of them have enjoyed that, and they both enjoyed successful, season in Italy. So, Jerry.
Yeah, I think the responsibility falls on the coach.
What should he do?
To be able to talk to the big players that this is your responsibility, this is your responsibility. I think what Pesero did at the last Afcon was jollof rice situation, whereby he just mixed everything because these are the firepower. Just go there, get the goals.
You need the ball.
Yes, just get the goals, whichever way, which way. And along the line, you saw Ademola Lookman. At a point in time, it was looking like we had 2 anchor men.
Exactly.
And when you have 2 anchor men, when the ball falls into the 18-yard box, it's difficult for one player to leave it for the other.
Yes.
But it's now become who's the fastest. Of course, maybe due to the stature of Ademola Lookman, he's always busy to pick up the crumbs. Because most of his goals were actually from tight corners and rebounds.
Yes.
Yes. And of course, Osimhen is one who makes the first attempt, first shot, and always in the position to run wide, get the ball to assist, and he's not selfish because it's all for the team. So it's now left for the coach to let Ademola Lookman know you're a winger. let Osimhen be the anchor man. Pull up for him. When the crumbs come, pick it up and score the rebounds. But when it's unavoidable that you are the man, you can score the goals. And that is now left for the coach, because now you're going to be talking to two former African Footballer of the Year who have seen it at the big stage. And I will not want to say Chelle is a small fish, but it will now take for him to take the bull by the horn and tell them, I'm the coach, this is what I want, and for the team to succeed, this is your role, you have to play it. But if he's unable to do that, that means we'll have to see a situation you have to bench Ademola Lookman, allow him pair up with Akko Adams, and like the way they did. But what my only difficulty with Akko Adams, he slows the pace of the attack. He's rather too slow. And though he's deadly in the 18-yard box, but apart from that, you don't see him in the game. That is the difference between him and Ademola Lookman. Ademola Lookman can drop back and assist the number 10, or even play the number 10 role. He can run anywhere as far as the attack is concerned, and he can even drop back and assist the defense. Akko Adams doesn't have that pace. Once he makes a lot of pace, you see him tired out, and then along the line, he's avoiding the balls because he doesn't have the energy to go 90 minutes. That's how difficult it is. So, Jollof situation might be the answer. But at the end of the day, let the Jollof rice know that this is where Maggi is, this is when salt is coming in, this is when the meat is going to come in. So, everybody will know their role, and of course, the Jollof will be sweet.
But Jerry, right? I mean, looking at the arrays of stars we are parading, I don't think, Ademola Lookman, for me, I don't think he should be on the bench. I think the best thing the coach should
because he's a goal threat.
Yes, but I think the
you
best
don't leave your goal threat on the bench.
The coach should find a balance. I mean,
Yes.
you can actually play a diamond formation and play two-man arrowhead, while someone, plays just right behind them and then play three flat midfielders. It's still going to help the team.
Sure.
Because if you put Ademola Lookman on the bench, imagine Ademola Lookman and Ademola Lookman, on the bench in last Afcon. I don't think Nigeria would have gone as far as we did.
I agree
because
with
sometimes these players, players of this quality might not even get to add numbers, but their presence will always make the opponent, be careful or cautious when they want to, come.
Yeah,
come attack.
it even stretches the defense, because now they're looking for who are they going to stop. By the time they're focusing on Osimhen, Lookman is doing damage. By the time they're focusing on Lookman, Osimhen will be doing damage. So it stretches the attention of the defense and gives you options to get goals. That is how it is. So, but if you play an Akko Adams over Lookman, everybody know that Osimhen is the point man. Akko Adams will only pick crumbs, or if there's an opponent, so they will not worry about him. And they will deplete the chances of the Eagles having more goal threats against the opponents.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I just hope that the coach Eric Chelle finds the right balance for the Super Eagles at the end of the day, so the Super Eagles can definitely get the right result and definitely bring the Holy Grail back home, at least for the fourth time, as African champions. Away from that, let's go straight down to the EPL. Last night at the Molineux, Amorim's men showed just why they are not in the same bracket with Arne Slot's boys. Actually, they came into that particular game and they said, in the last 3 games before this particular one, something interesting has been happening. United and Liverpool has been uniting. They've been a team united in results. Every single result United pull out is what Liverpool pull out. But this time around, I think that umbilical cord has been severed, and it's very interesting to actually see 4-1 it actually ended, and that puts United 6th on the log. And of course, with 25 points, and it's been an amazing. Jerry, look at this Manchester United side. Do you think Ruben Amorim has finally found the right formula, or is Wolves, not the litmus test that we all thought they were?
I'm ashamed that you are wasting lyrical because Man United beat Wolves. Wolves, I don't know the last time they won a match as far as the Premier League is concerned. I think the last time they won a match was last season. They've not won a match this season. That's the club side that you're wasting lyrical that they've broken the biblical code, started giving us. I think I was almost confused whether you become a rapper. Maybe you join Reminisce at Uzoho Black, and maybe you have a talent. I think you have to sharpen that skills right now, because I don't see anything there is to celebrate as far as beating Wolves is concerned. Let's not forget, in the first 45 minutes of that game, Man United was woeful. They were woeful.
Yeah, we're not discussing the first one.
They were woeful. And I don't know what he told them. He said it would be a shame that the team who has not won any game this season Their last win was last season when Kunha was still with them. That is the team that is going to beat you. That is maybe the reason why they woke up. All of a sudden, I saw a Man United fan posting statistics that Bruno Fernandes is the first player to give 10 goal contributions for the past how many seasons. And when I say this is the same Bruno Fernandes that was there when you were losing games. And we know this sixth position is just an initial graduate. When Mbeumo leaves for the Nations Cup and Diallo, don't worry. The Titanic ship will rock itself again. And of course, it will sink. Amorim is already building a ship that is always ready to sink. Man United is always a suspect.
But does it look like United will finish ahead of Liverpool this season?
Definitely not. Definitely not. Even with all the struggles, how many points are we talking about here?
2 points.
Just 2 points. 2 points is just half a game. It's not even one full game. 3 points makes you a one game. That's half a game. So Man United is a team ready to lose the next match, such as Liverpool. So there's no difference between the both of them right now in terms of form. So even Amorim knows that. So I expect you to know better.
So you are saying that Amorim is yet to convince you?
Amorim has gone into the study books of Erik ten Hag, whereby there's a situation where he's going to lose his job. He wins a game just to prove that he should stay on the job. Then he goes about to lose the next 2 games, draw the other one, lose again. Then when there's a threat to his job, he win 1 match. That was what Erik ten Hag was doing.
Top 6.
And stayed there for seasons.
Jerry, top 6 in December, in every EPL season. Top 6 in December shows just one thing. I mean, United 25 points now, Arsenal 33 points. That's just 8 points difference, right? And it simply means that you are now, in the contention for the title. You are now a title contender. And now you are saying that the same manager...
That means Crystal Palace has a big chance of winning the league ahead of Manchester United because now they are in the top 4. Yes, now I will not say Aston Villa is going to win the league because by December, they are just 3 points behind Arsenal. Because Man United has made 6. All of a sudden, statistics are looking beautiful.
Jerry,
they are not a title contender because they are in the top 6.
We are not saying they'll win it. We are not saying they'll win it.
You are talking about 13.
Jerry, no, we are saying factually, the facts remains now that as it stands now, this team has shown that they are right there in the contention for the title. 8 points.
Which of the title?
The Premier League title.
Which of the Premier League? The English Premier League.
Jerry, which league is Manchester United playing?
Please come on, this is December.
Jerry, wait.
This is December.
Jerry, which league is Manchester United playing?
If you want to have a stand-up comedy show, let me know.
Which league is Manchester
Book
United
the appointment. I'm an event organizer. I will help you organize the event. We'll book a date so that we'll tell me how many how many pointers have shown that Man United is a league contender. So that we'll laugh.
I've given you the pointer. Before now, record that.
I think we should have a stage so that we'll have fans. They will pay and come and watch us.
Jerry,
because this is becoming a comedy show.
Jerry, no.
As a title contender, please come on.
Jerry, 8 points in December. That's like 3 games. That's like 3 games. Arsenal was 7 points
for Manchester United is like 16 points because they are ready to lose the next match. This is Man United for crying out loud. We know. This team is...
So are you saying this victory against Wolves is not a sign of...
It's just a flash in the pan. It's just a flash in the pan. We all know Man United is the suspect. Diallo is going to the Nations Cup.
But Wolves has always been a litmus test to this side.
This is not the same Wolves we knew last season. They played that many matches, 15 matches, and you've not won a game. That's a team bound for relegation. This is a relegation side. They are just waiting.
But Jerry, relegation teams are the most difficult to play.
Relegation teams are the most difficult to play, and it's showing in the first half. It's showing in the first half. Man United were struggling. Second half, something happened, and they decided that they wanted to win that game. It's not like Man United were fantastic. Even with the lines of Mbeumo and Diallo available. Imagine those 2 now leaves. Those are the only 2 serious players in your attack. Because are you going to rely on Kunha? Kunha is like he's missing wolves. He's looking like a child who has been taken away from his home. Or are you going to rely on the scam you brought from Leipzig, Sesko? He's not looking sexy right now.
No,
Sesko he's not looking attractive.
And Sesko is injured.
He's injured. Is he Orobosa? Zegzi? You saw him that he went to buy players. Which of the players are you talking about? Is it Bruno Fernandes that is a nagging wife? Each ball that doesn't go to his favor, he will start nagging like a woman who the husband just offended. Is that the Man United side? Is it Amorim that is doing fine, but
Okay.
Rest your case. So
Let's move away from Manchester United. Still in England. Let's talk about Liverpool. A lot has been happening in the camp of the Reds. I mean, after that particular game, that Liverpool actually played 3-3 draw against Leeds United. A lot happened, and Salah went all out against his manager. Even the team in general are saying they've thrown him under the bus. They called him all sorts of names, and it wasn't looking funny because ex-Liverpool legend or former Liverpool player and ex-English international Jamie Carragher jumped into the fray and called Mo Salah's outburst a disgrace. Because Rooney also jumped and supported his fellow Englishman, saying that what Mo Salah did is beneath him. Jerry, it's Mo Salah. In fact, let me start. What exactly is the problem with Liverpool at this point?
the problem with Liverpool is that I've told you off camera.
What went wrong after winning the league? Because this is exactly what Salah asked. I won the league. I gave my all. I did everything that needs to be done. And now all of a sudden I was in a good place with the manager, but I don't understand what's going on. It seems they've thrown me under the bus. Is it true that they threw Salah under the bus?
Let me put it on record. The issues with Liverpool started when Edward brought Hoofs in. The club, the sporting director, who's in charge of making decisions or signings. And the responsibility of signings were taken off and the slot. And the slot was just based on making recommendations on players he wants. But who had the final say with Woodward? Woodward, I beg your pardon. Edward, I beg your pardon. And Hoofs. Hoofs came from Bournemouth. He was working with Bournemouth. He has worked with Edward before.
Debates from our discussion. Does it mean that you applaud the Mali leaders, those three countries that actually left? Because one of the things that they left, one of the reasons they left was as a result of all of this foreign interference and all of that. Does it mean that you actually applaud their leaving ECOWAS?
Because of the reason they have, 100%, they said they don't want colonialism again. That their colonial masters should leave them alone to develop this. But they are 100%. Unfortunately, it is a military regime that did that. Hello?
You can go ahead, please.
Yes. Unfortunately, it's a military regime. If you were a civilian, I want to see a civilian regime coming to do what this military are doing. For the fact that they say they don't want colonial masters again, I support them. For the fact that it's a military regime, I don't like what it is. But where we are now is results. We are no more looking at the process. We are no more looking at who gives us results. Take this foreign intervention away and then stabilize your country. Return your country to civil rule. No, are you hearing me? I can hear you. Yes, they should return the country to civil rule as soon as possible. And then the civilians should now learn that, okay, the coast is clear. They can do without those colonial masters. And that one I support. But they should quickly hand over to the civilian regime. In that case, you can now move.
Okay, let me get back to the studios and get back to Dr. Peter. Dr. Peter, you know, of course, we know that ECOWAS as a region, ECOWAS as a body, and of course the region has struggled. We have, of course, the coals, we have terrorism, we have arms trafficking, we have all sorts. How will this declaration of a state emergency affect regional cooperation on all of this, on terrorism, arms trafficking, co-prevention?
This, the so-called state of emergency is self-perpetuation. Understand? They don't want this thing to get to their countries. Those countries that declared that come together to say we are declaring state of emergency against military intervention is selfishness, it's self-perpetuation. They don't want their own country that to suffer the same fate. But what is the quality of governance in those countries? Understand? So you cannot be messing up and people will fold hands and be watching you. So I want to make a repeat. As far as I'm concerned, it is the cries of the people. It is abuse of governmental powers that brings military into intervening in politics. If all is going well, army is trained to focus on defending the territorial integrity of their countries. They are not trained to govern. They only intervene as a rescue mission. They only intervene as a rescue mission, and what makes them to intervene is the cries of the people and nothing more. So if there's quality governance in West Africa, there will be no queues. So I am saying it is a bad governance that is causing all this interference. Already we have 7 countries in Africa that have been affected. Benin would have been 8. Understand? Benin has been 8. And why? Because now France, what Nigeria is even doing is helping France.
Okay.
Understand me? That's what Nigeria is doing, because France don't want economic, that's a military government in Benin Republic, because they know that once a military government comes, they will follow the route of Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali. So that's why France is intervening, and Nigeria has become a puppet of the French government. I read an American podcast saying that Emmanuel Macron's boyfriend is assisting in quashing the coup in Benin, and what he meant is Bonamet Tinubu. Understand? So what is causing this military intervention is bad governance. I have said it over and over. I'm not a fan of military administration because I have witnessed one from 1984 to 1999. I was old enough to know what happened there at that time. So, and I would not want to pray for a repeat of such.
Okay.
But if all is going well, military cannot intervene in a civil process. So we should have this at the back of our mind. Like I said initially, before declaring this a state of emergency, they should ask themselves 2 questions. What is the quality of governance in West Africa? What is the quality of elections in West Africa? So if you become a head of state, a president through a manipulated election, as it happened in Tanzania, people will fold hands and be watching you. Understand? Then if you are feasting and your people are fasting, people should fold hand and be watching you because they don't want a military in government. It is wrong. So they should purge themselves of bad governance first.
Okay, let me come to you, Dr. Eric. How can we as a region, how can the region safeguard its democracy? We can see that our democracy is at risk. And that's one of the things that the president of ECOWAS mentioned during his speech. He said democracy is at risk. How can we as a region safeguard our democracy? Are you still with us? Dr. Peter, you can take a shot on that, please.
Well, there's what we call democratic integrity. Understand? Democracy does not just mean wearing a suit or a border. It goes far beyond that. Another name for democracy is development. Understand? Anywhere you are practicing democracy, there are things you have at the back of your mind. One is that power belongs to the people. You are holding power in trust for the people. You are not the owner of that power because people voted you into office. It is those that voted you that has that power. So in a democracy, power belongs to the people. Understand? The people's will must prevail. And there must be periodic elections. No sit tight. Understand? There must be periodic elections, and the elections must be free, fair, and credible. The vote of the people must count. Understand? So, and there must be checks and balances in government. The three arms of government must be independent, and not when in a country where only the executive is functioning, you tell us that you are practicing democracy. Is no democracy. The legislature must be independent of the executive and the judiciary. The judiciary must be independent of the legislative and the executive. If all these things are not happening, nobody can tell us that we are practicing democracy in West Africa. Understand? So that our democracy is in danger is because those in government are manipulating all the process. They are hijacking power from the people. Instead of the people being the custodian of the power, it is now the executive that is the custodian of the power. And this is the things that are leading to all these military interventions. So when they say that there should be no military in governance, they should make sure that things are done the right way. And when things are being done the right way, there will be no military intervention.
Okay, so we know that one of the things that we're battling with as a region is terrorism. How can ECOWAS have a coordinated regional response in tackling terrorism?
Well, I have said that we're supposed to have our own NATO, like Europe. Understand? We are supposed to have our own NATO, so that so that we can be fighting as one, so that we can be fighting as one. And again, most of the countries in West Africa are linked to each other, just like Burkina, Niger, Benin, Cameroon. All of them has boundaries with Nigeria. So if we close our borders, understand, it means that these people will not be able to infiltrate. Understand? Just like when Donald Trump first announced of American intervention, some of them begin to run to other neighboring countries because they don't need a passport. Understand? It just they can walk, and the borders are very, very open. So if we have that's a united army in West Africa, it will be easy to fight this terrorist bandits as a body, because there's a saying, people united can never be defeated. But because we're not speaking with one voice, and we don't have heads of government that commands respect because of the way they came into office. As I said yesterday, I can never respect any head of government that come into office through a rigged electoral process. I cannot. Understand? So when we have credible people, West Africa will begin to have respect. Why Donald Trump said that Nigeria is a disgraced country is because of our elections. How people are coming into office in Nigeria, among other things.
Okay, and we have our guest, our virtual guest, rejoin the show. Okay, Dr. Eric, this emergency declaration, do you think it could in any way deepen tensions with the alliance of Sahel states? We know that we already have tensions among this.
Yes,
and would this deepen tensions? They already view ECOWAS as an externally influenced organization, like you already mentioned. So what do you think?
Yes, it will deepen, because right now there is a dichotomy. You can see that. Are you hearing me? No.
Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you can hear me. All right, fine. You can see that Burkina Faso is going towards the east. That is Russia. I think Mali and the rest, they are following suit. That means there is going to be Russia-France tussle in West Africa. Okay? Now, and France and America, they are not best of friends. We all know that. They are just there to kind of party one another. So now, what they are doing now can degenerate into war. Once Russia, assuming Russia begins to support these Malians, the Burkinabes, and then the Nigerians, and they are supporting them with what our president had not got to do now. Would it turn to civil war? And it's going to get there. It's not done. That's deeping. Hello? Are you listening to me?
Go ahead, please. Yes.
Good. So there is deeply the dichotomy, the differences will now deepen. Because these countries, they are not even ready to even see the ECOWAS. They are not seeing eye to eye, and they don't regret it. They are so determined. And Russia is going to support them. The next thing that they will be sponsoring more coup. It is not yet over. I can't see it being over in Republic of Benin yet. That boundary, they are going to penetrate. So it is going to be a division in West Africa. And that will not augur well for the West African region. So what these people are to do, if you ask me, is let them follow what the Sahel government countries are doing. We don't want foreign interference. Okay?
Yeah.
We don't want foreign interference. Let everybody be very bold. Nigeria should forget about the British. Everybody should just be bold and leave these people so that we are on our own. And in that case, I can tell you that the Sahel government, they will succumb. Because what they don't want is the interference. And the ECOWAS is not leaving them alone. ECOWAS is trying to force them to go back to their colonial masters. It can't happen. I hope they don't tear West Africa apart. Like this thing that Nigeria did. Rushing in to go and interfere somewhere and say that is ECOWAS agreement. But when they wanted to come to us here, we are arguing. Is NATO not part of the agreement? Is if they come and then Americans, is America not under NATO? Huh?
Okay, so, I'm talking about the military or the president giving approval or asking the military to go ahead and responding to ECOWAS or trying to ensure that they try to ensure that the coup doesn't happen in Benin Republic. Let me ask you the next question. How does the approval, we know that the Senate has approved that our military should actually go and, do the needful. How does this align with Nigeria's overstretched security forces who are already battling insurgency, banditry, and separatist unrest at home? We know that we have a lot we are battling with as a country, and now we are asking the same security forces to leave our country and go to another country. How does this align with each other?
Do we have Senate? Do we have Senate? We don't have them. Senate is part of the executive arm. They have abandoned their job as a legislative arm of government, a check and balance arm. They have abandoned it, so any rubbish can happen. How can a president just wake up and say and send military to something that does not concern us? What are we doing? Is it because we think it's a tiny country that is by our side? Let them go and see what is happening in Ukraine and Russia. Russia thought they can go and demolish Ukraine in 2 weeks. The struggle is taking three years. Now, like what you are saying, we are already having problem with insecurity. And the man at the helm in Nigeria is going to court for another trouble. Does he think he can just go and crush Republic of Benin? If Russia comes in now, where are we? Is it not war? And the first place they will capture is Lagos, his own state. I don't think he thought of it. The Senate will have condemned it. They will have, hello?
You can go ahead, please.
The Senate will have condemned it. Look, we don't have time for war now. After all, it's their business. If there is a good governance, these people will not try to overtake. If they overtake, let them do their job. Let us face our problems.
Okay, let me come in here. You know, while you were talking, one of the things you said was that this is not that having to go to Benin Republic, it's actually none of our business. Like, it's not our business what is happening there. But the Senate president actually has a different opinion. He's saying that instability in any neighboring state poses a threat to our entire region, or to the entire region. Benin Republic is just our next door neighbor, if I can use that phrase. Don't you think that any unrest in Benin Republic would trickle down to us as a country?
There is no unrest. What happened is military coup, the change of government. Which unrest do we have in Niger now? Don't we have border with Niger? Which unrest do we have with Burkina Faso? Are they not around us? So these are not it. Even it is this thing they are doing now that will cause unrest. Because when a powerful country now supports the other side of the Republic of Benin, what is going to happen is war. They are creating it. Why is he saying that? Of course, he will say that because he is benefiting. Are we not in war? Is Nigeria not at war? We're at war now. Every day you see the soldiers shooting in Sambisa Forest. He says Sambisa Forest. Every day people are being kidnapped. Which other warring country will be worse than what we are now in Nigeria? Even in Ukraine, that war is raging now. People are still doing their normal job. It's concentrated somewhere. Can you travel? Then I cannot travel from where I am now to the next town. Is it not war zone? Why would they be saying that the war, the instability? Why would this man be talking that? Are we stable now? Is Nigeria not even more stable than Nigeria? Burkina Faso, they are handling their business. And they are telling us stability. What was wrong in the Republic of Benin? We are soldiers coming to attack us from the Republic of Benin. These people are just there. They don't know what they are there for. Are we fools? Nigerians are not fools. You are telling us instability. Are you stable in your own country? Is it because they have not come to their houses to come and arrest? Okay, when the president said that there should be no military, private escort, all those police, were they not crying wolf? Were they not afraid? If we are not in a warring zone, why would everybody should be having police and private and based on those who have the money? Go to America today, you won't hear any siren on the road. Then are you with me? Hello?
You can go ahead.
If you go to America, please show me one senator that is carrying siren about. Police. Is it not a war zone, a workplace that things like that happen? Some of them even go as far as carrying soldiers here in this environment. Please, Nena, we are already in war zone. And this man is going to cut another war for us from outside. I don't know where they are taking Nigeria to.
Okay. Let me allow you have a breather. Let me come to our guests in-house. Dr. Peter, does deploying troops abroad compromise our internal security readiness?
Nigeria won right from independence. We are a non-allied country, and our focus is our vision is Africa, understand? And in Africa, we are our brothers' keepers. In Africa, we are our brothers' keepers. But what is happening now is not the interest of the nation. We should have that at the back of our mind. Somebody is trying to perpetuate himself in office. Because when this thing happened on Sunday, the news was, people, I was reading tweets in social media, they were saying it is getting near, it is getting near. So they don't want that to get near. Some people were asking when it will become Nigeria's turn. Understand? Because when you look at around you, understand? Now, if you are in a union, understand? And a union of 5 countries, 4 are under military government, understand? There's no way that you will not be the 5th one. Understand me? So this is what they are trying to avoid.
Okay, before we go ahead, so we have a breaking news now that Governor Fubara of Rivers State has joined APC, has joined the party APC, and he has actually decamped from PDP and he has gone to APC. And of course, we also have a report that Adeleke, who is the governor of Osun State, has finally declared that he has joined Accord Party. This is the breaking news that we have at the moment. I don't know if you want to swiftly react to this, because, you know, this is actually surprising.
It's
a little bit surprising.
It's not surprising.
What I said, okay, so let me retract my words. We know, okay, we understand, actually, there were some reports or some people saying when he went to Abuja that we don't know that for Fubara, that we don't know what the agreement would have been. And some persons were actually saying, okay, there's a possibility that he might join APC. Some persons still felt like he might not join APC. We saw what happened in the House the other time, and we noticed that, okay, it looks like he's actually doing his politics right, and he was able to ensure that some persons were still PDP members. But now we have seen him, he has decamped. What do you make of this? I'm going to come to you, Dr. Eric, because it's your state. I will come to you. We'll let Dr. Peter quickly.
To me, he got it wrong from the beginning. He allowed himself to be manipulated, and that manipulation is still continuing up till now. Personally, I'm disappointed at him.
But if you were in his shoes, what would you have done when you have someone who is actually making your governance or your how would I put it, your being a governor, he's making it very, very unstable? Would you not want to ensure that you do the right, or no, not the right thing, but would you not want to ensure that you sit tight and hold tight to power through any means?
One, I don't know who were advising him from the beginning. I don't know, because Theodore was able to declare Uzoho Kanu, his godfather, persona non grata in Abia. Understand me? And Oji even said that Kanu must not come to the Senate. Understand? So you are the number 1 citizen of the state. Understand? You are the chief security officer. But those that were advising him did not understand the game. Understand? He would have gone to people who have done what he wanted to do and asked them, somebody and like Theodore, how were you able to maneuver Uzoho Kanu? Because Uzoho Kanu is as dreadful as Nyesom Wike, or even more dreadful than Nyesom Wike. But Theodore was able to declare him persona non grata. So he allowed himself to be messed up. He's manipulated, and now he doesn't even have a courage or confidence of his own. So to me, I'm not surprised at all.
Okay, Accord Party, Osun State governor has moved from, of course, he had already left PDP, but we were waiting. everyone was waiting for the party was going to join, and now he has said he's going to Accord.
Well, he cannot join ADC because ADC has already done their primaries, understand? And he wants to get his second term, and there's no chance for him in APC. So he has that to look for another party. But if his people are behind him, he can still win in any party. After all, what is the former Olusegun Mimiko did it in Ondo with Labour Party in 2010.
Okay, Dr. Eric, let's hear your view. Your governor, the governor of Rivers State, Fubara, has now decamped from PDP to APC. And of course, Osun State governor has also declared that he's moving to Accord. What do you make of this new development, especially concerning your state?
Yes, let me take my state first. It's an excellent move. I'm here.
Go ahead, please.
Then I listen to me.
Yes, please.
It's an excellent calculation, political calculation. We knew it was coming to come to this. There's this difference. He was never a politician. And just a simple man who didn't even know him until Wike brought him on board. And he wanted to now manipulate him. And sometimes we blamed him. Some other time when we understood the political calculation we saw with him. He has done the best thing. Hello?
Can go ahead.
Are you with me?
Yes, please.
He has done the right thing. He has done the right thing. This is to checkmate Wike's power. Wike is deadlier than anybody I can think of politically in this country. Deadlier. So the way now is, as it is now, APC is fractionalized into 3 places. One is Wike side. This one now is going to Fubara side. We have Emeka Beke. Remember, his own is there. So they are there. We are watching them. But what Fubara has done now is the best thing for us. River people don't want Wike's influence anymore. Now that it's in APC, the president will be more comfortable with him. Wike's power is being with that out. And he's becoming almost a persona non grata. And we know that the president wants to now begin to work directly with Fubara. And that was why they had those secret meetings. And it is better for the president to work directly with Fubara since Wike is already putting him in a bad light from his erratic behavior. So what that the president is now facing remember that Wike quickly told his voice to change to APC, and they did that overnight, thinking that that is going to endear him to the president. But the president is getting wiser now. He decided to call Fubara, come and let me work with you, be in APC, so that I can work with you. As it is now, Wike is not in any party. And you cannot work with somebody who has no party. He's going to be on the losing side. And with Fubara in the APC, let him go. We need peace in the state. As I'm talking to you, the 6 months was a disaster in this country, in this state. It took our state 5 years back. The issue are still there. All the projects left behind, and if I had one running in front of my clinic, they just destroyed that road and abandoned it. The man never worked. People were not paid salaries. Business was not going. The state was just dormant. And now that Fubara has come, things are beginning to move. So if that is the thing that the price that Rivers State will pay, that Fubara is in APC, fine. I don't have any interest in APC. But if Fubara can be in APC, and then there is peace in Rivers State, and in Wike's power and destruction is destroyed, or with that out, fine. Rivers will take it. Let us forget about other integrity and all that and all that. Wike is not somebody one can fight alone. Fubara cannot fight him alone.
Okay, but I want to ask you a question. But Rivers State has always been known to be a PDP state. do you really see River State people, the people of River State, voting APC into power? Of course, irrespective of the fact that the sitting governor is there, do you really see them embracing APC as a party?
We have another party. That is ADC. So let the campaign period come, and then you will see that ADC will take over everywhere in River State. ADC will take over. Like I speak, there is anything that concerns APC. It's not for River State. Even the PDP itself, because of the way PDP is going, River people are tired. Now a new party is coming and they're embracing it wholeheartedly.
But let me come in here, Dr. Eric. It will look as if you are speaking from different parts of your mouth. Sorry to use that, but that's the way it sounds. In one aspect, you're saying that APC, that Fubara moving to APC is an excellent move. On the other hand, you're saying that the Rivers people would embrace ADC and not APC. And how do you balance this?
Yes, I know what I'm saying. Listen now, Nena. I just gave you a lead way for you to know what I was talking about. As at the time Fubara was in PDP, they were destroying at the center, they were destroying the states. You get me? And that is why they brought you know it all. I won't go front. There's no time for that. The declaration was illegal. They declared it because of one man, Wicked. Now, the Rivers people are tired of it. For between now and 2027, we want peace. If the peace is going to come by Fubara entering APC, fine. But by the time election comes in, River State will choose their own party.
Okay.
They are to choose their own man, rather.
Okay, now I understand.
That's what I mean, if you get me that way. But for now, whatever they want to do, we need peace.
Okay, so I think I understand where you're...
Wike is not giving us peace. Wike is not giving River State peace. River State wants to do away with Wike.
Okay. Let's quickly move to the conversation that you wanted to have from the beginning, and that's the conversation of the aircraft that Alliance of Sahel State had condemned the emergency landing of a Nigerian military aircraft. What do you make of this? On one hand, they are condemning. NAF is actually saying, making it look as if it was, according to NAF, there were precautions, there were necessary precautions were taken. But we're seeing Alliance of Sahel States saying something totally different and condemning this emergency, and also saying that they would not agree to any kind of infiltration or any kind of their airspace. So what, in one minute, please, can you speak to this before I come to Dr. Peter?
Yes, in 1 minute, it is a threat, and they are on the defensive.
Okay, so you actually don't believe...
Leave it there.
You don't believe what NAF is saying. You don't believe what NAF is saying. Is that what you're saying?
How will I believe? Can anybody believe anything that they are saying in this country? I will not believe. What did they go to do there? They are even lucky. These people will have been neutralized. They are still waiting. What are you doing with... You have just gone to bomb a neighboring country. You are not supposed to be there. And then they find you in the next one. And it is known that there is a foreign power that is leading you. You have you say you have demolished the other one. You are coming to the next country where they don't agree with the foreign power that sent you. They even tried.
Okay.
In some places they will have brought them down.
Let me quickly. Thank God they didn't bring them down. Let me quickly. Dr. Peter is laughing here. Thank God they didn't bring them down, because that would be very costly.
The Turkey not do it. Did Russia not do it? Even with private plane. They cut private plane into two. A passenger plane, you all had it. How many years ago? Recently. And they said they entered this thing. The other one too, Turkey did it and brought them one aircraft that went there. Russian aircraft. So here they would have done that. They are even kind. Ibrahim Traore is very, very kind.
Okay, so they were very kind. Okay, let's
very
have...
kind for negotiation. They should keep them there. They should keep them there. They shouldn't kill them. Keep them there. They are prisoners of war.
Let's have Dr. Peter chime into this discussion. Dr. Peter, what do you make of
for
this?
Me, according to what our NAV said, they say that they just developed problems. and has to do a kind of force landing, understand? But before you go into somebody's airspace and not in somebody's country, there should be communication. So if really there was communication, they wouldn't have been detained, because right now they are under detention. So, but these people are giving the impression that all is well. To me, all is not well.
Wow.
They should explain their mission there. Maybe they feel that they can do what they did in Benin, in Burkina Faso, understand? But they should detain them there for them to explain their mission in that country.
So you're actually also towing the same line with Dr. Eric that they should be detained. Well,
they are already in detention.
Yeah, that they should still be in detention till they give the explanation.
Explain their mission there.
Okay, I'm sure definitely we are going to get to hear more about this in the coming days. Thank you very much, Dr. Eric, for being a part of the show tonight. Thank you, Dr. Peter, for being with us.
Thank you, Nena.
Yes, you're welcome.
Nice having you. Thank you.
Nice having you as well. That's all for today's episode of The Issues. We explained the challenges facing Nigeria's polity and, of course, governance. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Don't forget to tune in next time for more in-depth analysis and discussion. Follow us on social media to stay up to date on the latest news and insight. Until next time, stay informed. I am Nnenna Ndomdioto. This has been The Issues on Voice of the People Television, where the future faces forward. Please don't forget to stay tuned for hashtag with Vivian and Ikechukwu by 8 p.m. Let's go away.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I. From social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.